So now we make a continuation of the study of Bhagavdageeta, which is also the most authentic text and the science of yoga.
Donc maintenant, nous continuons notre étude de la Bhagavdageeta, qui est aussi un des textes très authentiques de la science du yoga.
Bhagavad-Gita is the application of yoga in the daily life. That is not just only a philosophy or a doctrine, but it is practical application. That is why it is taught to Arjuna in the battlefield.
Donc, la Bhagavad Gita, c'est l'application du yoga dans notre vie de tous les jours. Et c'est la raison pour laquelle ça se présente dans la forme suivante, c'est-à-dire le yoga est appris à Arjuna pendant qu'il est dans le champ de bataille.
So in our previous session, we have started the study of this, the fourth chapter of this Bhagavad Gita.
Nous avons étudié le chapitre 4 de la Bhagavad Gita.
So in the fourth chapter, we were studying about what is called yajna.
Et nous avons donc étudié ce que c'est le yajna.
So yajna is also a technical word which we have to know the significance of this. Many times we have studied about the significance, but again and again we have to make a reminder of this word yajna.
Donc yajna est aussi un mot technique et donc nous allons voir ce que ça veut dire.
So yajna means it is a deed which we perform for the welfare of all beings with a spirit of offering. So a deed which we perform with a spirit of offering for the welfare of all beings in the creation, that is technically called yajna.
Donc, yajna, c'est un acte que nous performons ou que nous exécutons pour le bien-être de tout être vivant. Et ceci avec un esprit.
So yajna is prescribed for all the human beings to purify our mundane life, or to purify ourselves in the mundane life. Yajna is prescribed for everybody to perform.
Donc, avec l'esprit de l'offrande, je voulais dire, et il est prescrit de faire cet acte ou de performer cet acte pour purifier l'être humain.
So, according to the possibilities, there are many types of yajna which we can perform, we can apply, according to the possibility, according to the availability.
Et selon les possibilités des personnes, il y a plusieurs types de yajna.
What is required is the spirit of offering. That is, behind this, you have to increase, you have to inculcate the spirit of offering. That is important.
Et ce qui est très important là-dedans, c'est qu'on est dans l'esprit de l'offrande. Donc on veut offrir quelque chose à quelqu'un. C'est ce qu'on doit agrandir, la volonté d'offrir.
What is it that is achieved or attained by offering? That is explained in previously also we studied in the stanza 31 of this. By offering and the spirit of offering, the one who offers tastes eternity. So, we experience eternity by inculcating the spirit of offering, and by making an offering, we taste eternity. That is what we attain.
Et qu'est-ce qu'on peut obtenir en offrant des choses à quelqu'un? C'est l'expérimentation, donc le sens de l'éternité.
One who offers, he exists in the cosmic consciousness, which is eternal.
Celui qui offre existe dans la conscience cosmique, ce qui est éternel.
And even in the mundane world, without offering, you cannot tide over our mundane life. So in mundane life also, because many people think that spiritual life is different from mundane life. But that is not true. One who is not able to manage in mundane life cannot enter into spiritual life. So, offering is the main aspect, spirit of offering, even in the mundane plane. That is, then only you can live in this world with peace.
Et dans le monde mondain aussi, il faut continuer ce principe d'offrir des choses, parce que nous ne pouvons pas accéder au monde spirituel sans pouvoir avoir l'expérience du monde mondain dans lequel on doit offrir et on offre des choses aux gens. Ce n'est que comme ça qu'on va sentir et expérimenter la paix.
Explaining this about the spirit of offering, in the Vedic text there is a little allegory, a parable. That is, that the Creator has created some human beings, and then all these beings who are created start asking the Creator, we are hungry, we want food. When we come into existence, into this world, the very first thing, when we start inhalation and exhalation, the very first thing what we require is food. That is why the Lord, the Creator, has arranged the food before bringing us into existence. You see? Otherwise we would not survive. So, all these beings created, who are created, looking at him and said, you have created us, we are hungry, we please give food. Then what he did is, he asked them to hold their hands like this and given some grains, handful of grains to each of them. And he was watching how these fellows behave. And half of them, what they did is, everyone has divided these grains into two parts, and one half of this they have put on the soil. Everybody has thrown on the soil. And reminding, everyone has put the grain in the mouth of the other person. All are there, everyone, instead of eating away, everyone was putting these grains, remaining grains, into the mouth of the other person. So everybody is fed, nobody is hungry. And those grains which they have thrown on the soil, they started growing once again. So that is why they all of them, they have survived quite well. And the other half fellows, what they did, when their hands are filled by grains, immediately they started to eat away the grains. They ate all the grains, everybody. They did not care for the other person. They ate this away and finished the grains. No more grains to put in the soil. No more grains to eat. Then finally, once again, when they are hungry, there are no grains. They have to die. This is the story. You see how wonderful it explains how we have to behave.
Et concernant donc l'offrande, il y a une petite anecdote qui est racontée, c'est-à-dire que le Créateur, quand il nous a créés, il savait que la première chose qu'on allait faire, c'était de demander à manger. Et donc, il avait déjà arrangé la chose avant, il avait créé la nourriture avant de nous créer. Et quand il a commencé à entendre les cris pour la nourriture, il a demandé à tout le monde qui demandait de la nourriture d'ouvrir les mains et d'avoir une espèce de coupe dans la main et donc de recevoir des grains. Et la moitié de ces personnes qui ont reçu ont divisé les grains en deux mains, ils ont jeté une partie par terre pour que ça repousse, et l'autre partie qu'ils avaient en main, ils ont mis en bouche de l'autre personne. Tout le monde était nourri, et l'année d'après, il y avait de la nourriture encore et encore qui produisait de la nourriture pour tout le monde. Mais l'autre groupe a commencé à manger tout ce qu'ils avaient en main, eux-mêmes, sans se soucier de l'autre et sans se soucier du lendemain. Et le groupe qui a fait ça, bien sûr, devait mourir de faim l'année prochaine.
And also in another chapter, the Lord said that one who cooks only for himself without sharing or without offering with others is not only just cooking his food, but he is cooking his own sin. So, without spirit of offering, if you eat, then you are called a thief. That is also, he said, sthena evasa. Sthena means thief. So Lord said, he who eats of his own without sharing and offering is a thief, because he thinks that it is his own, but from where he got it? It is given, not attained by us. It is given by the higher consciousness, the Lord consciousness. It is given to us. So if we share and if we utilize it, then we are fit to be the proper human beings. Otherwise, we will be considered as thieves.
Donc il y a aussi un proverbe qui dit que celui qui cuisine pour lui-même, il cuit son propre péché. Et quand on mange tout seul, sans offrir quoi que ce soit aux autres, on vous considère comme un voleur.
So there are many types of offerings or yajnas which are explained here in the previous stanza. Many are the types of offerings from the path of wisdom.
Et il y a beaucoup de types différents d'offrandes.
You know, in all the ancient traditions, whenever there is a ritual and whenever there is a worship or anything, it is associated or followed by distribution of food to everybody. Without distributing the food, if you do the worship or whatever you do, it is futile. You will not get any benefit of it, whatever, in whichever big scale, whatever you do big festival, big puja, or big these things. But if you have not distributed, that is why this food is first offered to the Lord and then it is distributed to the people. This is the tradition in all the ancient nations. This is not business. This is not for selling. This is the tradition. And the fact is, as long as this is followed, there was no shortage at all. That is the wonderful thing. This is not just a belief, this is practical experience. As long as you follow this structure, you will never have any shortage. You must have trust in this. You must have total faith in this. But unfortunately now all this is lost in many nations, in many systems. So because offering food, you cannot satisfy the other person in any other manner than offering the food. You see, if you give money, you give any amount of money, but the other person may feel, oh, he could have given much more. He is not satisfied. If you give gold also, he is not satisfied. If you give anything, he is not satisfied. But a person who is hungry, you give food. So when he is satiated, he should be satiated, he should be satisfied, not otherwise. Only with food you can do that. So offering, basic offering, is by sharing. So offering is called yajna, the spirit of offering. In offering something, what is important is your spirit of your attitude to offer. And this offering to someone is to be considered as the offering to the Lord consciousness. You are not offering only to the individual. You are offering to the Lord consciousness, who is there in you and who is there in the other person also. So it is how you attained this. If I think that, because I have so much of money, I have purchased my grains and all these things, I could prepare my own food. So I do not depend upon anybody because I have purchased my own. It is true, you have purchased your grain, you have purchased your bread and all these. But how it came to you, by not, even if you give money to purchase, but it should be there as a result of the effort of so many people before that. The one who is working in the field to grow this, and then the one who is transporting, the one who is preparing, it goes through many stages and then only you could purchase. Simply because you have money, you think that I don't depend upon anybody because I can purchase whatever I want. That is not true spirit. That is not ideal spirit. You should remember that it is coming to you, it is given to you, it is coming to you by the Lord consciousness only in the form of those people who worked before that. So therefore you have to remember this. Therefore you have to yourself also you have to involve in this spirit of offering. So when you remember this, That is why it is given one of the prayers. Remember the giver. You always remember the giver. Who is the giver? The Lord. He gave the frame also to us. This body is not achieved or attained by us. It is given to us by the Lord consciousness. So therefore, we must be very thankful for that Lord consciousness, because He has given the body, He has given the intelligence, He has given the food, He has given our life, daily life. What can we do for this? Start offering. Inculcate spirit of offering. And spirit of offering means in action, not only just in mind. If I entertain very good ideas in my mind, that is not enough. It's of no use. In practice, what you are doing, if you could offer without any expectation, then your life becomes yajna. That is the essence of the teaching of Bhagavad-Gita. The whole life, every moment of your life, every day of your life is a yajna. Then you experience utmost happiness. That is the goal.
Même dans les civilisations anciennes, un événement quelconque, spirituel ou non spirituel, était toujours associé à la distribution de la nourriture. Il y a la nourriture qui est d'abord offerte aux dieux, et puis seulement par après, elle est divisée entre les gens. Et aussi longtemps qu'on suit cette règle, il n'y aura pas de manque, on n'aura jamais faim. Il faut vraiment faire confiance à ce principe et donc continuer la chaîne d'offrir la nourriture à ceux qui ont faim. C'est la seule façon dont on peut satisfaire une personne, c'est avec la nourriture. Si on lui donne de l'argent, dans 2 minutes il n'y en a plus, et si on lui donne autre chose, ça aussi ça ne donne pas le sentiment de la satiété. Donc pour satisfaire vraiment quelqu'un, on peut seulement faire ça avec la nourriture. Et l'offre de la nourriture s'appelle yajna. Donc il faut créer en nous l'attitude d'offrir. Et offrir, ce n'est pas seulement offrir à l'autre, mais c'est surtout offrir au Seigneur. Il y a le Seigneur en vous et il y a le Seigneur dans les autres. Et même si vous pensez que vous n'avez pas besoin des autres, vous êtes à côté de la plaque, parce que même si vous avez beaucoup d'argent, ce n'est pas pour autant que vous pouvez vous acheter de la nourriture. La nourriture vient vers vous parce que justement il y a d'autres personnes qui ont travaillé avant vous. Ils ont semé, ils ont récolté, ils ont distribué. Il y a d'autres personnes avec qui il faut tenir compte. Et la nourriture vient donc vers nous dans la forme de personnes et du travail des personnes. Ce n'est pas parce que vous avez de l'argent que vous n'avez pas besoin de quelqu'un. Donc vous devez rester impliqué dans la chaîne de donner et d'offrir, tout comme le Seigneur nous a donné notre cadre, c'est-à-dire notre corps. Nous devons vivre et donner et offrir au Seigneur. Nous devons être reconnaissants devant le Seigneur parce que lui nous a donné notre vie, notre corps, l'attitude. Et qu'est-ce qu'on peut faire pour montrer notre gratitude? C'est commencer à offrir. Donc on doit mettre en pratique, pas seulement dans la tête, mais aussi dans la pratique de tous les jours. On doit offrir et créer un esprit d'offrande à autrui. Si vous faites ça, vous pouvez vivre sans expectation quelconque et votre vie, tous les jours de votre vie deviennent yajna.
whatever you do in the mundane plane, if you are, for example, if you are doing a business, so you can be a businessman. So you are earning money from your business. But it is not wrong. You can do business, but with what spirit you are doing. You must know, for example, you have invested your capital to build up a big factory where many persons are working. So your investment, you have made an investment. If you made an investment only being interested in what profit you are getting, but even then, your spirit is different, but what is happening is, you have invested for your own profit, but it is a benefit for many people for their livelihood. You see how there is the arrangement? Many people are having their employment, they have support for their livelihood, they are all benefited. But when you are concerned, you are always mindful about your profit, you may get profit, but you are not benefited on the higher plane. If you realize that what you have invested has created livelihood for so many people and it is serving a good purpose, so you have realized this, and at the same time you receive, through your business you are receiving the money also. That is not bad. But how is your spirit? Are you mindful only of your profit, or you are doing this because this is giving good livelihood to many people? So if you are more concerned about that, then you have transformed your business into yajna. At the same time you are also living. You are having a comfortable life through your business. But you are supporting many people for their living. So this is also yajna. This is not different from spirituality. You can be a spiritualist even though you are a businessman. If you have such a spirit, with the spirit of offering, if you do business, also you can be businessman, at the same time you are a spiritualist. So that is not different. So it depends upon with what spirit you are doing. That is what the Lord says. If you are employed in some office, for example, you may be an engineer, you may be a doctor, may be different. If you are a teacher, for example, you are employed. You are being paid for what work you are doing. So, all the time, if you only remember that I am doing this work for the amount of money what I get every month, then you are bound by this. Because always your mind is attached to what you get, but not what you have to do. But you are compelled to do your work, otherwise you are not paid. You are employed there. You are compelled to do your work. By compulsion, you do your work, but always you are mindful of the amount which you receive at the end of the month. There is another person, for example, who is a colleague of this fellow. He is always joyful and happy and doing his work because he knows anyway at the end of the month he receives his payment. He is not worried about this. This first fellow, every day he is worried about what he gets, what he receives as a remuneration. He is always worried, mindful of this remuneration. So therefore he is always tense, he is never happy. But the other fellow doing the same work, very happy. He does his work with a good responsibility. He never thinks of the remuneration, which automatically he gets. He gets his remuneration at the end of the month anyway. You see the difference between these two fellows? So the second fellow made his work as yajna. Because if he is a teacher, for example, he is always mindful about how best he could do for his students. Not mindful of remuneration. He will get automatically. So he is doing his yajna. But the other fellow, the same fellow like him, teacher, he is not caring about how he has to teach the students, how for the benefit of, always his own benefit as remuneration. So this is the difference. So your daily life you can transform into yajna by changing your spirit. That is what you see in Bhagavdageeta.
Donc, n'importe ce que vous faites dans la vie, vous pouvez toujours vivre dans l'yajna. Par exemple, si vous êtes un homme d'affaires et vous êtes conscient de ce que vous faites, ça peut être très positif pour vous. Si vous investissez par exemple dans une grande firme, mais vous le faites juste pour le bénéfice que ça vous rapporte, alors vous n'allez pas être heureux. Mais par contre, si vous le faites avec l'esprit de donner du travail aux autres, vous êtes conscient que les autres bénéficieront de leur traitement, à ce moment-là, vous pouvez vivre heureux et vous avez transformé votre activité principale en yajna. Si vous travaillez seulement pour le profit, vous n'allez pas avoir des avantages au niveau spirituel. Ce n'est pas mauvais d'être homme d'affaires, mais il faut rester attentif aux autres. Si vous faites ça, vous vivez spirituellement et vous vivez dans l'esprit de l'offrande. Tout dépend de l'intention avec laquelle on fait des choses. Si vous êtes payé pour votre travail et vous pensez seulement à l'argent qui rentre en fin de mois, vous vivez en esclavage. Votre esprit est concentré sur la compensation et pas sur le travail, et vous sentez ça comme un lourd poids que vous devez travailler tous les jours. Par contre, quelqu'un qui fait son travail avec joie et qui s'investit et qui se demande seulement comment il peut faire mieux et comment il peut servir mieux, il sait qu'il est quand même payé à la fin du mois. Lui, il vit une vie heureuse. La deuxième personne a donc changé son job en yajna. Et donc, vous pouvez aussi appliquer ça dans la vie de tous les jours. Vous pouvez vivre en yajna.
So, what is explained in this stanza 32 is that there are many are the types of offerings found from the path of wisdom. Know that they all exist in the deeds of men. Know them like this and be liberated. So, all these offerings, they exist and they emanate from the deeds of the person, from action of the person. So that is what is important. So all the type of yajnas are from the activity, and from such activity one can liberate himself from the bondage. So doing yajna is for his own benefit. If anyone follows the yajna, he is benefited, and this benefit is getting liberated from what? Liberation. Liberated from self-conditioning. The bondage is the bondage of self-conditioning. So the yoga means liberation from self-conditioning, which is bondage. That is yoga.
Donc dans le stanza 33, on explique que toutes les offrandes n'existent qu'en résultat des actions de certaines personnes. Et ce n'est que comme ça qu'on peut se libérer de l'esclavage. Le yajna, c'est la libération du conditionnement de soi.
And in stanza 33 also he explains that an offering made on the intellectual plane is more progressive than that made on the physical plane. remember that the object of all your doings is your own enlightenment. So by offering something, it is just if you think that it is for the benefit of others, that is not just enough. When you make any offering, you should realize that it is for your own enlightenment. How is it that if we offer something to other person, how we get the benefit of enlightenment? That is a question in the skeptic minds of people. People who are skeptic, they have such question. They get such question that if I offer something to other person, how I am benefited? Huh?
Donc l'offrande est plus importante quand elle est faite au niveau de l'intellectuel, le niveau intellectuel, ça c'est, et donc pas au niveau physique. C'est en offrant aux autres qu'on s'illumine nous-mêmes, et les sceptiques poseront la question: comment ça se fait? Qu'est-ce que je gagne en offrant aux autres?
Once there was a holy person who was always working for the benefit of many beings, and then it happened that there is a businessman and this holy person just passing by the shop or the place of business of this, and just stopped a while, and a poor fellow who wanted to perform the marriage of his daughter approached this businessman for some financial help, and he asked, please give some money to me so that I can perform the marriage of my daughter, and I will bless you. I will bless you, because he is also a person who does some Vedic ritual and all these things. So he said, I will bless you, and you will prosper well by my blessing. So you just help me. Then this fellow, the business fellow, he is over intelligent. He uses his intelligence in a very wrong manner. So he said, my dear fellow, you asked me to give you some money to help you, with which you can perform the marriage of your daughter. And you told me you will bless me, then I will get all the prosperity and I will get more riches and money. If your blessings are so powerful that will give prosperity to me, why don't you use these blessings on yourself? You bless yourself. So that you bless yourself, so that you get all the prosperity and you will get good money by your own blessings, and you can perform the marriage of your daughter. Why do you need my help in that? Like this, he put forth his argument, an intelligent argument. And this fellow could not answer. He is an innocent fellow. And then this holy person, he happened to listen to all this. And then this holy person just started conversation with this businessman. And there are few cows there. In this area of this business person. He asked, where from you purchased these cows? Then he explained, I have purchased these cows for so much of money, and I have special feed for these cows. I spend much money for this special feed, so that these cows are producing so much of milk every day. So it's all special effort, you see. So then this holy person said, I appreciate you, your effort, because you are spending so much of money on your cows, your special feed you are getting, and they are giving you good quantity of milk, all this. But I have a question, why you do all this all around? Instead of giving this special feed to the cows, if you take this feed by yourself, you will get your own milk. Why should you spend so much of money? Huh? Why should you get this special feed and feed the cows and all, waste your time and money? You get this feed and feed yourself with this, you will get your own milk. Huh? Because you apply the same formula which you are telling to other fellow. Then this fellow, this businessman, then he could realize what mistake he was doing, and then he helped the other fellow.
Donc il y a une petite anecdote de quelques personnes qui se rencontrent et qui se parlent. Il y avait une personne sainte qui travaillait toujours pour le bénéfice des autres. Et un jour, il rencontre un homme d'affaires. Et ils sont là en train de parler. Et pendant qu'ils parlent, il y a un pauvre qui vient vers l'homme d'affaires et qui dit, voilà, je voudrais marier ma fille, mais j'ai besoin d'aide. Je voudrais que vous me donniez un peu d'argent pour que je puisse lui payer un bon mariage. Et si vous faites ça, je vous bénirai, et alors vous allez prospérer, vous allez avoir tout ce que vous voulez, et tout ça. Et l'homme d'affaires se scratchait un peu la tête en se disant ces bénédictions, c'est tout bien, mais s'ils sont si puissants, pourquoi vous ne vous bénissez pas vous-même, et comme ça, vous avez tout l'argent et tout ce qu'il vous faut pour marier votre fille. Et le saint qui était à côté, il avait entendu toute la conversation, puis il commençait à parler à l'homme d'affaires, et il voit que l'homme d'affaires a acheté des vaches, et il dit je vous apprécie, vous avez bien fait d'acheter des vaches, ils sont bien, ils vous livrent beaucoup de lait, tout ça, et de la viande éventuellement, et puis il posait la même question à l'homme d'affaires. Il disait pourquoi vous vous souciez de les donner à manger pour produire du lait et tout ça. Pourquoi vous ne mangez pas la nourriture des vaches? Comme ça, vous pouvez produire vous-même votre lait. Et c'est ainsi que l'homme d'affaires comprenait et aidait le pauvre.
So it is through this mutuality. The yajna it's a mutual offering. And you will be benefited by offering to other person. You will be benefited. But we think that by offering I am benefiting the other person. That is what you physically you see. But beyond this there is the higher thing. You are benefited. That is what the Lord says here. So, what is the benefit? Getting liberated from this conditioning. And also there is a truth that the more you have the spirit of offering, the more you always keep receiving. Also that is this. That is also there. If you do this because you receive, then you will not receive. Here is the secret. If you are mindful of what you receive, then you cannot keep this. If you are mindful of what you offer, then automatically the more you are offering, the more it is like a stream. We should have faith on this. It is like a stream.
Donc il faut tenir en compte que quand on offre quelque chose à quelqu'un, on n'aide pas seulement l'autre, mais on bénéficie soi-même aussi. Ce n'est pas seulement la personne qui reçoit qui est bénéficiée. Il y a une autre règle qui est importante à savoir, c'est plus on offre, plus on reçoit. C'est quelque chose qui doit couler, ça coule de source. Quand on offre, on reçoit.
So yajna is classified into two categories. One category is yajna or the offering on the material plane, offering of the materials, and another category is an offering on the higher plane. So these are two. One is called dravya yajna. Dravya means material, and the other is jnana yajna. Jnana means intelligence. So out of these two, you can select whichever is possible for you to practice, to put in practice in your life.
Il y a deux catégories de yajna. Il y a la catégorie donc de l'offrande au niveau du matériel, et il y a aussi le deuxième niveau, c'est le niveau plus haut, c'est-à-dire au niveau de l'intelligence. Et selon vos possibilités, vous pouvez pratiquer l'un l'autre.
Generally, in the human mind, in the human behavior, there is always a distinction between what you say mine, what you say yours. So this is mine, this is yours, like this. And such thinking is based on many of the objects on the physical plane. For example, money or objects or property, whatever it may be. So you say this belongs to me, this belongs to you, like this. It is associated all on the physical objects, on the physical plane. But if we learn how to make proper use of this, then all our possessive instincts, because that is a big obstacle, the possessive instinct. So this possessive instinct is gradually diluted, and all our ideas, all our impressions about all these things are gradually, they will disappear. And then what we do, we get pure intelligence, pure knowledge. We use this pure knowledge for a proper utilization of either money or objects to transform this into yajna. So money means not, wealth means not the so-called riches like gold or the currency and all these things. This is not the wealth. Wealth means the proper utilization of all this what is available. That is the real meaning of wealth. The proper utilization. So somebody, for example, is hungry. If you are offering food, if somebody is in the need of clothing, offer clothes. If somebody is suffering from some disease or some disorder, then you are offering medicine, you are doing some service. So this is what is required. With this, by such type of offering, how you are benefited. In many ways you are benefited. When you attend to the needs of other people without without any selfish motives, with the spirit of offering, without is attaching to you to your impression of other things, then what happens is, even on mundane plane, you are benefited because you have a good association and you have all the people whom you are serving, they will have a good wishes for you. That is also there. So this is what is called, technically called heaven. In the scriptures you find heaven and hell. They are not hanging somewhere else. This is only allegorically they say heaven is there upwards and hell is there downwards. That is our experience. Our experience of the result of what we have done, what we do. That is what you experience of heaven is an experience. What you experience of hell is also experience of what we have done.
Donc, dans le comportement humain, on distingue plusieurs choses. Très souvent, on dit ceci est à moi, cela est à vous. Et quand on regarde tout ça, c'est basé sur les objets au niveau matériel, au niveau physique. Mais on oublie avec cela qu'il y a un usage propre, un usage correct pour toutes ces choses. Et malheureusement, notre esprit possessif va diluer notre compréhension du vrai sens d'un objet. Toutes les idées, les mauvaises idées ou les idées erronées vont disparaître si on utilise les choses pour lesquelles ils sont vraiment faits et on oublie qu'il est à vous ou qu'il est à moi, l'objet. Nous obtiendrons une connaissance pure et on utilisera donc les choses pour ce qu'ils sont faits et ainsi nous transformerons nos actions, on transformera nos actions en yajna. Ce qu'on appelle le bien-être financier ou de l'argent, ce n'est pas juste l'or ou beaucoup de sous. La vraie richesse, c'est l'usage correct des choses et ça, c'est la vraie signification de la richesse. Si par exemple une personne a faim, on lui donne à manger. Si quelqu'un a froid, on va l'habiller. Et si quelqu'un est malade, on va lui offrir des médicaments. Si on se comporte ainsi, nous allons être bénéficiés en beaucoup de différentes manières. Si vous offrez tout sans des motifs égoïstes, même au niveau mondain, vous allez être le bénéficiaire de beaucoup de choses et vous allez pouvoir observer que toutes les personnes autour de vous vous voudront du bien. Et ceci, c'est ce qu'on appelle le ciel. Il n'y a pas d'enfer, il n'y a pas de ciel. En fait, ce n'est que le résultat de nos actions, de tout ce qu'on fait ou de ce qu'on a fait. On peut dire il vit dans l'enfer parce qu'il a fait des choses mauvaises ou il vit dans le ciel parce qu'il a fait des bonnes choses.
If you have made your offering or if you have made your service, for example, to get famous, to get fame, or to attain recognition, this is also, even though you are offering your service and offering your help, so for example, if I have distributed money to poor people, for example, if I feel that all these people who received my help should recognize me as a holy man and should always be, because they have received help from me, I have helped them all. They have received help from me. So they should reciprocate. They should recognize me with this expectation. Then it cannot be yajna because you are entangled. Then what happens? If their reciprocation, they do not reciprocate to you as per your expectation, then you will be disappointed. So therefore, even on any plane and anything, when you are offering, if you make offering only remembering that you are offering to the Lord, the indweller of the person, then it becomes a yajna, an offering on the intellectual plane. That is the real knowledge, because that liberates you. No expectation of anything, without expectation, without any motive towards you. If you could offer, then it becomes true yajna.
Donc, si par exemple vous offrez des choses à des personnes en pensant à la renommée, si vous attendez de la reconnaissance des gens, vous n'êtes pas dans le bon. Il faut, si vous pensez que vous donnez rien que parce que vous voulez être reconnu ou parce que les gens devraient faire la même chose pour vous, vous n'allez pas recevoir ce que vous avez donné, la même chose que vous avez donné, et vous serez déçu. Même dans n'importe quel niveau, si vous offrez ce que vous avez à offrir au Seigneur, c'est une offrande au niveau intellectuel et c'est une offrande sans attente, et ça c'est du vrai yajna.
So three things, in another chapter, it is explained that there are three things which are to be used by human being to get purified. The three things are, one is yajna. And another, second one is dana. And the third one is tapas. Yajna, dana and tapas. Yajna means we have known now to a certain extent. So an offering without any expectation for the welfare of all the beings is yajna. Dana means charity. Charity is dana. And tapas means fiery aspiration. That is how it is translated by Master Jwalkul.
Donc il y a trois choses que vous devez mettre en œuvre ou en route pour vous purifier. Le premier, c'est yajna, c'est ce qu'on vient de voir, c'est donc l'offrande sans attendre quoi que ce soit de retour. Le deuxième, c'est dana, qui est la charité. Et le troisième, c'est tapas, c'est l'aspiration assidue.
It is fiery. He called this fiery aspiration because by this type of aspiration, it is like fire which burns away all the filth in you. All the sin, all the filth in you is burnt away by this aspiration. That is how he has translated this as fiery aspiration, as tapas. These three, yajna, dana and tapas, the Lord confirmed in Bhagavdageeta that these three are to be performed by every human being to get purified, because we need process of purification. Just how we need a bath, a shower every day to purify, to clean our body, so also we need these three implements to purify our inner vehicles, keep our life pure by these three. For all the human beings it is mandatory. That is what the Lord said. You should not relinquish, you should not leave these three things in order to keep yourself pure.
Et donc, l'aspiration assidue ou l'aspiration plein de feu, comme on peut le traduire, est appelée ainsi parce que c'est comme le feu qui brûle toute la saloperie en vous et qui doit être suivi par chaque être humain pour se purifier. Donc, on doit appliquer ces trois règles pour purifier soi-même, sans arrêt.
So the spirit of sacrifice, spirit of offering, it inculcates in us the spirit of sacrifice. Because to attain immortality, this spirit of sacrifice is what is needed. Because the first yajna, that is what you find in the scriptures. Who was the one who did the first yajna? It is the Creator himself, because the whole creation is an yajna. The Creator constantly, he is doing his work of creation. There is nothing that he attains by doing this. You see, what benefit the Creator receives by all this creation is not for himself. The Creator is doing all this work of creation with a spirit of sacrifice, because he is sacrificing himself. It is a big sacrifice for the Lord of this creation to create all the beings and to be there as the indweller in every beings. What is the benefit he derives from this? Nothing. He can be as himself without all this botheration. If he does not bring this creation into existence, he would have existed himself, enjoying in himself. But he involved himself in bringing this creation into existence, creating all the beings and arranging all these things for the beings. This is so much of work. You cannot imagine how much work it is, this creation. But he is doing this. He is enjoying by doing this work of creation without having any benefit from this. So that is why the first yajna is the yajna of creation, which is performed by the Creator himself. So he created the devas, the intelligences, and he entrusted this work to devas also. And they also started doing yajna. All the intelligences or devas are doing their work, as with a spirit of sacrifice only, without expectation. What benefit they derive by doing their work for us? For example, you have Vayu, the Lord of pulsation, who is responsible for our inhalation and exhalation. We think that we are doing our inhalation and exhalation, but the fact is, the Lord of pulsation is responsible for our inhalation and exhalation. So what benefit he is deriving by working for all the beings every moment to keep this inhalation and exhalation? Nothing. What can we do for him? Even we do not recognize him. We do not even remember that inhalation and exhalation is continuously going on. We are not mindful because we have something more important than this. You see, in our daily life, we have more important things to think and to do than our inhalation and exhalation. Therefore, we do not remember that inhalation and exhalation is continuously going on. So therefore, there is no possibility that we remember the Lord of pulsation, Vayu. In spite of this, he is working. Even though we are not recognizing him, he is working. He never expects us to recognize him. Suppose if he would have asked us, you human beings, for 24 hours you keep your own exhalation, inhalation, I have some work to do. What will happen? No human being will survive. Suppose he asked us, you do your own inhalation and exhalation for one day. Finish. We are. Because we have more important things than this. We do not remember even. So that is why the Devas are working without any expectation, nothing, no benefit that they derive from us, but still they are working. They are doing their yajna. And we, the human beings also. You see, other beings in the creation, they are also doing their yajna in their own magnitude. But the human being is a special being. Human being is given an independence to decide. The other beings cannot choose. They have to follow the law of nature. But the human beings are given an independence to decide. So we want to do yajna or we don't want to do yajna, we can decide. Only the human being. That is why all the practice of yoga is for the human being. For the animals and birds, there is no need for yoga practice. They are already in yoga. Yogic state there. Because they always follow the law of nature. They never disobey the nature. It is only human being, once again. That is why all this is given to us to practice.
Donc, l'esprit de sacrifice, pourquoi est-ce qu'on l'adopterait? C'est pour atteindre l'immortalité. Pourquoi? Parce que le premier yajna était performé par le Créateur lui-même. Il crée constamment et il n'a pas de bénéfice de ce faire. Il le fait pour les autres, pas pour soi. Il utilise le travail comme son sacrifice et il crée tous les autres êtres sur la terre. Il est la personne qui habite nos corps et c'est beaucoup de travail. Et pourquoi est-ce qu'il ferait ça? Il pourrait être tout bien aussi tout seul dans son coin sans rien faire. mais il préfère de se sacrifier pour tout le monde et il l'aime bien. Il aime bien faire le travail. Il fait ça sans avantage, il ne reçoit rien pour cela. Et il a aussi demandé aux devas de commencer du yajna et les devas travaillent aussi sans cesse dans l'esprit du sacrifice, sans expectation. Par exemple, nous avons le seigneur Vayu qui est le seigneur des pulsations et c'est lui qui est responsable de notre respiration. Si par exemple il dirait un jour, ne fût-ce que 24 heures, être humain, occupe-toi de ta propre respiration, nous serions tous morts parce que nous avons d'autres choses en tête que de devoir respirer et penser à la respiration chaque seconde. Donc lui, il travaille pour nous et on ne le connaît pas, on ne le reconnaît pas et il fait ça juste pour nous et dans l'esprit du sacrifice, de l'offre. Les êtres humains, ce sont les seuls êtres qui ont un choix, qui peuvent se dire on fait du yajna ou on ne le fait pas. C'est nous qui décidons, seulement les êtres humains. Le yajna n'est donc pas nécessaire pour d'autres créatures comme par exemple les animaux parce qu'ils sont déjà dans l'état yogique. Ils obéissent tous à la loi de la nature.
So now, in the next stanza, he is going to explain about what is right knowledge and how we can attain right knowledge.
Et dans le stanza suivant, on va apprendre ce que c'est la connaissance correcte et comment arriver à l'avoir.
So that we will see in tomorrow's class.
Et ça, c'est du travail pour demain.